This is the FM Gold channel of All India Radio. In the program Countrywide, tonight we bring you an interview with Dr. Ajay Bhushan Pandey, CEO UIDAI. The interviewer is Prasoon Srivastava, journalist.
Today Aadhar has become base of everything. Mr. Pandey, how do you see Aadhar as an empowerment for citizens? And there are so many myths around Aadhar. So we'll first start with how it empowers general public and provides government services, how it is working.
Today as a country we should be very proud that we have given a very secure, credible digital identity to 121 crore of our people. And if we want to just see what used to happen few years back, few years back, either people did not have any ID, or even if they had some ID, it was a domain-specific ID, like for a particular usage, for example, ration card or voter ID. And even those IDs were also limited to only the specific area where that person was living. For example, if he had a ration card of Tamil Nadu, he could use that ration card only in his village. He could not have used that ration card as his identity document once he moved out of his village. So in the same country, he was identityless even though he had some identity in a village. So what Aadhar has done? Aadhar has given identity to now 121 crore people, which is portable across the country. And it is an identity which doesn't lapse. There is no expiry date, and he can use it anywhere he wants to get any service, be it for opening a bank account, be it getting a SIM card or getting his ration or pension or for any other benefit. So this has empowered a person and every Indian with a very, very secure identity. Because whenever you want to get any service, whether it is a government or private, the first question that is asked, who you are, and you have to prove your identity. Now Aadhar has answered that problem by giving identity to people so that they can give Aadhar and get any service which they want.
You said any service referring to utilities. So now it is mobile phone also. People are asking for Aadhar. Banking, they are asking for Aadhar. So every service is being linked to Aadhar, and if you read the provision of Aadhar Act, it says that any benefit that is given from consolidated fund of the government has to be delivered only if things are linked to Aadhar, direct benefit transfers and everything. Why mobile is being linked to Aadhar?
You see, just think about and just remember, what was the problem before? The problem earlier was that supposing somebody wanted to get a SIM card. Now the amount of information, remember big form that you have to fill in. You have to give your photograph and the name, address, salary proof, the address proof. With all those documents you have to give to get a SIM card. And that was the reason why people were finding it very, very difficult to get SIM card. And because of that difficulty, many of the wrong practices started creeping into our system. So the people who perhaps if he doesn't have a credible proof of identity or address, then will approach some middleman, and middlemen used to create some fake documents. And on that basis, the SIM cards and even the SIM cards used to be given. Many of these anti-social elements and criminals and the terrorists, they also resorted to the same thing. Based on the fake identity cards or fake documents, they used to get the SIM card. Later on, after the crime, when the investigating agencies used to track those people, those SIM cards later on we used to find that they were issued on the basis of some fake documents. So this problem was a very, very massive problem. And that is why, so first Aadhar has brought convenience, that you don't have to give any other ID document. Just give your Aadhar number and put your fingerprint. Or now you can even get a SIM card, by sitting at home by this Aadhar OTP authentication. So it has provided a convenience. At the same time, it has also provided security, because it will no more be possible for a criminal or some other anti-social element to get a SIM card in the name of some fictitious person, crime and disappear. So this will also add to the overall security of people as well as security of our country.
Help me understand, if suppose some foreigner has come and want to have some SIM card using Aadhar, now to get Aadhar he need to have some previous document, like if he shows his driving license where scope of duplicate license has been there and other documents, can he get an Aadhar issued for him?
I must say that wherever it has been mandated that Aadhar will be used, it has also been mandated that there will be some exceptions. For example, if an NRI comes or a foreigner comes, naturally he will not have an Aadhaar number. Now, all those instructions are, for example, in case of a SIM card, Department of Telecom has issued instructions saying that if a foreigner or NRI comes, the SIM card should be given on the basis of other documents because they will not be having Aadhaar. So the whole idea is not to deny anyone who cannot get an Aadhaar number, because if somebody is not entitled to get an Aadhaar number, he has to be given service or the facility on the basis of other identity documents as it used to be done before. So the same thing will apply to the bank account, for example. If an NRI or a foreigner wants to come in India and open a bank account, or he already has a bank account and he has to verify that bank account with Aadhaar as per the PMLA rules, because he is not entitled to get Aadhaar, so therefore he is not required to give Aadhaar. And his verification or the service or opening of the bank account or the SIM card should be given on the basis of some other identity documents, which in this case has been prescribed by the Department of Telecom, or in case of a bank account by RBI.
Now, if suppose someone wants to open an account or get a SIM card with malintention, what are the provisions that can be used to check such activities using Aadhaar?
He is an NRI or a foreigner, he cannot give an Aadhaar number. So in that case, the banks will require him to give some other documents, for example, his passport and his visa stamping, and from that the concerned service provider will ascertain the authenticity of these documents in the manner which has been prescribed by the concerned regulator, in this case the RBI, or in case of a telecom by the Department of Telecom or the TRAI. So all the due diligence will have to be verified wherever Aadhaar number is not possible to be given.
Earlier it was Aadhaar could be made at any shop. You go to common service centers or any authorized center, Aadhaar service was available. But now you have moved to banks and post offices. So how is it helping UIDAI and government to in the Aadhaar system? We
have tried to provide a better services to our people, because people used to have difficulty that if the Aadhaar center was not so well known, because in the beginning Aadhaar enrollments were done mainly in the camps. Aadhaar enrollment camp was set up in a village or maybe in the housing societies, or from the localities to localities that center is to move. Once we reached this level of 121 crore, now only very few people are left out. And now the people are also coming for the updates. If they have changed their address, they have to go and change their address. Or maybe their photograph has become old, so they would like to replace that photograph with a new photograph. Now, in order to provide convenience to people and also to provide a secure environment for Aadhaar enrollment, we decided that the enrollment facilities will be available also in banks and the post office, in addition to the centers which are working in the government offices and other things.
Can any private entity still continue issuing Aadhaar?
We have now a policy where we want that the enrollment should happen under the close supervisions of banks, post office and the state government. So if an eligible private entity wants to do Aadhaar enrollment, it has to work under the supervision of these banks, post office and the state governments. And also the actual Aadhaar enrollment should also happen in a government premise or bank premise or the post office premise.
So in case some state governments have mandated that birth certificate should be issued to newborns only after they have Aadhaar registration number or any Aadhaar number, so they should get in limited number of days. Now in such cases, are private hospitals authorized to enroll kids for Aadhaar system?
Yes, there could be a system where under the government these Aadhaar enrollment operators could work and then could visit those hospitals and enroll children. That is one option. Other option is that the Aadhaar enrollments are happening in the Anganwadis, play schools. So the enrollment can happen there also. And so far as the requirement of Aadhaar number in the birth certificate is concerned, at the time of application of birth certificate, the Aadhaar number is desirable. But I am not aware of any such instructions where it says that without Aadhaar number, birth certificate cannot be issued.
Various people have apprehension that Aadhaar can be misused for breach of privacy. Aadhaar can be a unique identifier of everything that they do if it is linked to their bank account, then their travel details, whom they meet and everything. So how do you see this perception?
First of all, this impression that Aadhaar violates privacy, Aadhaar will lead to some kind of a surveillance state is completely wrong. Because in case of an Aadhaar design, it has been designed in such a manner that Aadhaar in fact protects the privacy. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you go to a bank and open your bank account or link your bank account with Aadhar number. So what you give your Aadhar number and then the fingerprint to the bank, and bank sends us your fingerprint and Aadhar number, and we give answer yes and no. So your Aadhar number gets seeded in your bank database. Similarly, now if you go and give your Aadhar number to a telecom provider, SIM card, so the telecom company knows your Aadhar number and also, of course, the mobile number he has. Then you go to the food department. In your ration card, you give your Aadhar number. So your ration card gets seeded with Aadhar number. Now your Aadhar number is in 3 different databases. Now nobody can link these databases. UIDAI does not know that you have gone and linked your Aadhar number to the SIM card or to the bank or to the food department and how much money you are withdrawing from that bank. If you have given your Aadhar to the telecom companies, UIDAI would not know that how many calls you are making, to whom calls you are making. Similarly, in the PDS, in your ration card, if you have given your Aadhar number, UIDAI will never know that how much food grain you are withdrawing and what you are doing. So UIDAI only gets your biometric and Aadhar number and gives answer yes and no. So UIDAI has a very, very minimal information. Similarly, the bank would not know that which telecom provider to whom you have given your Aadhar number, and similarly the ration card people would not know that which bank you have account or which telecom SIM card you have. So all these systems are federated and are independent, and then the data lies at different places. Now there are very, very strong provisions under the Aadhaar Act which prohibits agencies from sharing data with each other. If they try to share data with each other, then it is a criminal offence which is punishable with 3 years imprisonment. Now one more thing that I would like to mention, that just like in India we have Aadhaar number, in USA the social security number was introduced in 1935, and since 1935 the social security number has been used for getting a bank account, getting pension, getting food rations, for filing income tax returns, and for getting a scholarship, loans, driver license, and many activities, much more activity than what Aadhaar is being used in our country. Now with this, social security number has been used and seeded into all different databases in USA. And naturally, there also, in the beginning there may have been some apprehensions. But definitely America has not become a surveillance state, because nobody can say that because social security number is there in every database and therefore United States is a surveillance state. It is also a democracy like us. So similarly here in our country, just because your Aadhaar number is in different databases, it doesn't automatically become a surveillance state. So therefore that whole fear is completely unfounded, and there are very strong privacy protection provisions in the Aadhaar Act which will ensure that such things do not happen.
So someone cannot link that Aadhaar number, like police takes this Aadhaar number for surveillance. They get it from mobile phone company that which Aadhaar number is linked to it. Is there any system where they can put this Aadhaar number and get to know where all this has been seeded?
It is impossible to, in this current, the way Aadhaar Act has been designed, the way Aadhaar system has been designed, it will not only be impossible, because to make any such system where you just enter the Aadhaar number and all of a sudden you will get to know where all his bank account numbers are there, what property one has, what SIM card he has used. So all these informations are not aggregated at one place, and therefore it will not be possible for anyone to get that information, because as I said in the beginning, that the interlinking of the various databases without consent of the individual is prohibited, and it is a criminal offence under the Aadhaar Act.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
You were listening to an interview with Dr. Ajay Bhushan Pandey, CEO, UIDAI. The interviewer was Prasoon Srivastav, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. This program is also available on our website, newsonair.nic.in. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.